Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. For folks who are watching this whole interview on Rudy Blair Entertainment Media, people should realize today, as we speak, it is snowing out there. What was it like to get down here?
Well, my dad was so sweet enough to drive me down. He works downtown, so he drove me. But we were going to take the train in, and then we just looked outside. We're like, that's not happening. It's not happening right now. I got my snow boots on. You can't see, but I got snow boots on.
Well, you're doing it right. I mean, it is cold out there, but you are heating things up with your new single and your music. And more importantly, representing Canada the way you are as an actress, as a singer. I mean, you're doing the threat all together, and it is great to be that type of inspiring person. Congratulations on that success.
Oh, thanks so much, Rudy.
When you decided to get in this business, I mean, when did it all start? Because as we know you as an actress on Degrassi, but also now as a singer, you've done other things. But how did you decide to get in this business? Because this isn't an easy business to be in.
I started out with acting when I was pretty young. I was about 12 years old. And the reason I actually fell into that is because I got stage fright when I would sing. Singing has always been my first passion, but I was too nervous. And then slowly, acting helped me rebuild my confidence in front of an audience, and I've come around to it, and now I'm over it. I'm over the stage fright.
But when your parents knew that, I mean, like, did they know instantly that you wanted to be in it? Because I would always figure parents are like, oh, no. Can't you be a lawyer? Can't you be a police officer?
Oh, believe me, my parents are brown. I'm from an Indian family. That's exactly what they wanted, lawyer or doctor. But they're very, very, they were open-minded to the idea of me being an artist, and they've been super supportive once they saw how serious I was about it. They just want to make sure that I wasn't screwing around and just, making an excuse for not doing anything with my life. They want to make sure I was taking art seriously, but they are supportive.
Degrassi series, Degrassi, the next class that you were part of, really helps launch a lot of young stars. How did they get on your radar? How did you guys end up coming together?
So I have an agent for acting, and he got me the audition, but I had auditioned for them multiple times before I landed the role. So it had been going back and forth for a couple of years. I think I auditioned for 6 other characters before I landed the one that I got. And so it kind of like builds a relationship with the casting director, with the team. So when I finally got onto the show, it wasn't anything new. I was kind of prepared for it, which was great. And they definitely helped me boost up my career, my following, fan base, because Degrassi fans are so dedicated, which really helps even once the show is done, or once your character graduates like mine has. They're still so dedicated towards me. It's great.
But the other thing, too, it really does reflect on what's going on in society, and things are going on. For folks who have never watched Degrassi, the next class, describe your character, please.
So my character's name is Goldie, and she is the first character on Degrassi to wear a hijab all the time. And a hijab is a religious article of clothing that girls wear to cover their bodies, save themselves for God in the Islamic culture and religion. And it was really true to what was happening at the time when these episodes aired, because there was so many attacks on Islamic women in general, and it was going on across the world. So it was something that a lot of girls didn't have represented on television, and so Degrassi was the first to offer it, and it was really amazing and eye-opening to see that, like, finally TV was acknowledging what's going on around the world.
There's an episode that I watched where you were attacked by it was older guys. Can you talk about that, please? Because the way you portrayed that moment, it touched me, and I know it touched a lot of other people too.
Yeah, that was a really scary episode to film, just knowing that it wasn't fiction. It was something that was derived from real incidences that had happened in Toronto specifically too, not just like in remote areas, but it's happening in big cities. And what was most heartbreaking is once the episode aired, how many girls had messaged me on Instagram or Twitter telling me that it inspired them, gave them courage and hope because they'd been in similar situations. But I'm really glad that I could be there for them. That's what you can hope for with art, is that you can reach out to people, comfort people.
With the Me Too movement going on right now, how do you feel the fact that women are being able to speak out? It doesn't matter what their religion, their background, or anything else. They're standing up. The world is changing, and women are standing forefront.
It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy that I am blessed enough to live in the time where this is happening. I get to see the revolution happen, be a part of it. being a colored woman, I couldn't be more grateful, because growing up, when I first started out in this industry, I remember my agent telling me, right now it's all blonde hair, blue eyes. And I went to my mom, I'm like, why wasn't I born with blonde hair, blue eyes? Why couldn't I be that? And that broke her heart. That made her so upset. But slowly watching the industry change, it's making me so happy to realize that colored women are getting lead roles. We're getting recognized. There are people standing up for us, and we're standing up for ourselves. It's so heartwarming. It's so inspiring.
You know, when we're talking about this, there's another element to what you're doing too. You're bringing couples back together, because you have a new single that to me is all about bringing the love back. Talk a little about it, please.
So this is like an electronic love ballad. It's a bit more sped up and kind of poppy with the vibe. And
The single's called?
The single's called Forever Boy, because it's written about a boy or your significant other that you'd want forever. I didn't write this about anybody specifically.
You knew I was going to ask that.
I knew that was coming next, but actually I wrote this about what I would kind of want my ideal like soulmate to be like, or what that feeling would be like to fall in love with that person who's perfect for you. And so I really tried to embody that in the song, which is what I want people to feel when they listen to it. So it's being released around Valentine's Day, which is like so ideal with timing.
Is it tough for you as an actress, somebody who is, seen everywhere? Even though we were talking before this, sometimes people are going, was that you as that character? And you've done other things too, movies and stuff. Is it tough for you to be in relationships when people know what you've done and where you're going and what you're doing too?
Oh, completely. Tinder is really difficult that way, because they make you connected to your Facebook and Instagram, so then they obviously know what my career is, which is sometimes difficult. Sometimes it's a conversation starter, but most times it's hard to differentiate when people are being genuine or not. But at the same time, it kind of makes it easier to find like-minded people, because my art is out there. People know my personality, and so when I do find people and I connect with them, it's the internet definitely makes it easier in some ways.
Now, we talked about the single. Is there going to be an EP and album soon? And if so, what are we looking at? Is it sort of like the same theme here?
Yeah, so it's all really electronic, and yes, I'm hopefully coming out with an album later this year, maybe like late summer, and it's gonna be a concept album about my teen years, because I'm turning 20 this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so I thought it'd be the perfect way to cap off my teen years and kind of give some advice to people who are still struggling with teenhood.
Now, because we are talking about that this song and the video is being released on Valentine's Day, can you give the guys a little bit of advice? Because I find that these days, I'm old school. I'm 53 years old. I got no problem saying that. I know how I used to approach the young ladies back then. Today, I find they're a little bit aggressive, not, you know where I'm going with this. What advice can you give these guys when they want to approach a young lady? Because with Facebook and social media, I've even heard that a lot of people don't even actually talk to each other. It's all through Facebook and, texting or whatever else.
Okay, first thing, just because the internet exists does not mean you can't text a girl, pick up the phone, call her, FaceTime her. There's so many more avenues to connect with people. Secondly, just give a genuine compliment. You don't have to pretend to be anything. It's so disheartening and sad when guys think that just being themselves isn't enough. It's so nice when someone's genuine or just gives you a compliment right off the bat. Don't play hard to get. Games aren't fun. I mean, some people might like them, but not the people who are worth sticking to. They don't like the games, so.
Now, to be fair, sometimes the young ladies, it's hard to, approach because they got that cut eye going and.
They got that, stink eye.
Yeah. So what advice can you give the gals to maybe make it a little bit easy? I'm not too easy, but you know what I mean.
I would say maybe give the guy a chance. Get off your high horse. Give the guy a chance. Sometimes people surprise you with who they are if you give them like a time to converse with you. Give them 5 minutes of your day. It's fine. Mind you, as long as they're being polite and not aggressive, give them the time of day. Be respectful back. I think it's just like genuine human being courtesy to just, converse with someone if they're asking you how your day is. That's always something nice.
I like that. What is happening also in 2018, other than hopefully an album coming out? Is there more acting gigs coming up? Could you be touring maybe hooking up with maybe any other artists out there?
There's going to be some collaborations, hopefully, in the future.
But you don't want to tell me, do you?
Not yet. It's not set in stone yet. But one thing that is set in stone is an animation movie that I did earlier this year. Just got nominated for an Oscar.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so we'll find out if we're winning. I think it's March 3rd. Or March.
Sorry, which one is it again?
It's called The Breadwinner.
Oh, right.
Yes, and Angelina Jolie's produced it, so they're going to be representing us on the red carpet. So it's hopefully fingers crossed.
Congratulations. Look, as we wrap this up, because I know you got a lot more interviews to do today, what advice can you give those young folks out there who are hopefully following their dreams? You've done it. You're still doing it. What advice can you give them?
I'd probably give them the same advice my parents tell me every day. Just don't give up. Just keep going. If you love it, it shouldn't matter where you get. Like, it doesn't matter how far you get with it. Just do it because you love it.
Fantastic. Website, Twitter, now the social media stuff. Where do we go?
SomaChhaya.com for my website and at Soma Chhaya for all of my social medias.
Congratulations on the success. And as we speak, happy Valentine's Day.
Thanks, Rudy. Happy Valentine's Day.